Tell me, do you like Disney? Are you also a fan of Animal Crossing? Have you ever wondered what would happen if you mashed Disney and Animal Crossing together in one game? Oddly specific question, I know. But I think Disney Dreamlight Valley is the answer to that exact question. It's an interesting concept, but does developer Gameloft manage to pull off a Disney Animal Crossing? Let's find out. This is the video version of a review on our website, links in the description below. The story follows you, the player, as you decide to take a break from your busy life and go back to your childhood home. You fall asleep in your backyard and end up in a dream world full of wonders from your childhood. Dreamlight Valley. You first meet Merlin the Wizard, who seems to be in trouble. You approach him and he explains that the Dreamlight Valley used to be a lively place. However, when the forgetting started happening, people either started leaving or disappearing. Forgetting, as you can probably imagine, caused the residents of the valley to start forgetting about their friends. Along with the forgetting, mysterious night thorns also appeared all over the town, making life harder for the residents. You then find out that you have the power to make these night thorns disappear. As you clear out the night thorns, you also clear up the residents' foggy memories while making the town a more livable place once more. And so, it's up to you to find out the cause of the forgetting and restore Dreamlight Valley to its former glory. Riveting, isn't it? The story is really just there to provide context to the whole game. It's not necessarily the main focus of the game. It's a very straightforward sort of fairy tale kind of bedtime story. In fact, when you reach a certain fairly early point in the game, you can probably easily guess who's behind all of this, even though the revelation of the main villain is set up to be this big shocking twist. And while it's not the main focus of the game, it's still a little disappointing considering Disney is usually known for creating very emotional stories that have you invested and glued to your seat. However, it serves its purpose and there's not much else to say about it. You know what else serves its purpose? The subscribe button. The gameplay is best described as Animal Crossing-like. Much like the beloved Nintendo title, you'll cultivate an area, plan and design your village, furnish your house, collect player clothing, make friends with your villagers, and more. A good amount of your time is spent gathering materials to craft furniture, cook food, and make tools that can be used by you personally, or for quests that you do for your residents. You can get materials mainly through gardening, fishing, mining, foraging, and digging. At the start, you'll be tasked to find various tools that you can use to get materials through the aforementioned methods. These tools can be improved later on to further help in gathering materials or accessing previously blocked paths. Fairly typical gameplay if you're familiar with Animal Crossing. Of course, you can have a proper Animal Crossing experience without having villagers. And for Disney Dreamlight Valley, the villagers are probably its biggest draw, especially since they're all recognizable beloved characters across Disney's wide repertoire of shows and movies. In Animal Crossing, recruiting villagers is extremely painful, especially if you want a specific one to come to your island. I don't think I need to remind you how unhinged people were trying to get Raymond. Well, luckily, Disney Dreamlight Valley doesn't opt for that kind of luck-based system for getting villagers. It's a welcome decision, as you don't need to sit there flying to an ungodly number of islands, pulling your hair out when you still don't have them after 100 tries. Instead, to welcome villagers into Dreamlight Valley, you must simply either progress the story and side quests or unlock the castle so that you can go into the realms to invite certain characters to your village. More about realms later. Once they're invited into your village, you can do a few things with them. If they don't have a home yet, you can get one built, which of course costs a certain amount of in-game currency. After that, you can increase your friendship with them. This can be done through the same methods as Animal Crossing. Giving them presents, hang out with them, or doing their side quests. Outside of the self-insert aspect of befriending a beloved character and being part of their world, there are actual benefits from being good friends with certain characters. The most practical benefit is that you can assign certain villagers to be helpers for either gardening, fishing, mining, foraging, or digging. When you hang out with a villager while doing the corresponding activity, they can help you get additional materials from said activity. And the higher your friendship level with that villager, the more extra materials you can get. This hangout mechanic makes the characters feel like they're actually doing their part in helping the valley get back up on its feet, as opposed to just being NPCs that stand there looking pretty. Each villager has their own story arc to follow that progresses by completing their side quests. You can get various rewards from these side quests, including getting materials, currency, new villagers, or Dreamlight. Dreamlight is a special currency that you can use to unlock various parts of the game. It's used to unlock the castle, which grants you access to the realms. Which, as we mentioned before, is how you can invite more characters into Dreamlight Valley. The first realm is unlocked for free, but if you want more characters to invite to the valley, you'll need to spend Dreamlight to open the doors to those realms. Dreamlight also unlocks the additional biomes of Dreamlight Valley. The additional biomes give you access to more varied materials and additional space for your villagers, and for any decorative plants you may have for the valley. Gathering your villagers, increasing your friendship with them, progressing their story arcs, and decorating the valley the way you want is the core gameplay loop. These kinds of more slow, laid-back, slice-of-life games take time, and for some it might feel like a chore. Granted, the start does feel a little slow, especially for those who want to get into inviting their favorite Disney characters in as soon as possible. But for others, it's a relaxing, leisurely way to spend your time at your own pace, without the pressures of failure. The whole look of the game is very Disney, designed with that cartoony vibe that fits well with the rest of the characters. Your character doesn't at all look out of place standing next to Mickey or Goofy. Unlike how surreal it is looking at Donald standing next to Squaw or Leon. The graphics are fairly simple, but it does its job fairly well. And clearly, you don't necessarily need ultra-high resolution graphics and textures for a game like this if Stardew Valley's success is anything to go by. You're given quite a lot of freedom to customize and dress your character up as well. There is a huge collection of clothes in the game, ranging from more casual attire to fantastical clothes directly pulled from a Disney IP, all in a variety of colors. We just wish there was an easier way to save your outfits, so you can utilize the many pieces of clothing more often to create diverse outfits of the day depending on your mood. There is a mannequin you can go to that lets you save your outfits, but it would have been nicer if your outfits were accessible directly via the menu. The Disney characters are as they appear in their respective shows or movies. The game also provides you with alternative costumes for some characters, if you're willing to spend real-life money for them. While the designs are what you'd expect from Disney, one minor nitpick we have is that sometimes the characters kinda feel like they're just animatronics when you talk to them. Mickey definitely needs to have more expressions and animations to look more alive. The music does its job of making you feel like you're in a Disney title. Even with the copyrighted music turned off during its streaming-friendly mode, the royalty-free music still sounds familiar and nostalgic, as though you vaguely heard it somewhere before in a Disney movie. It was a little disappointing, however, to find that the game had very limited voice acting. If you're a fan of Disney characters, there's no doubt that you would want to hear your favorite characters talk to you with full voice acting. Kingdom Hearts was able to do that to some degree, using sound-alikes if they couldn't book the original voice artists. But alas, that's not the case. You only get snippets of voice lines per character, and you'll no doubt hear all of them in no time.
A dark age indeed.
Disney Dreamlight Valley provides a fun experience if you're into cozy games, and an even better experience if you're a big Disney fan on top of that. But like most cozy games, it has the potential to be repetitive and slow for some at the start. The story isn't anything to write home about either. If you're just there to sit back, relax, and take a leisurely stroll through the most magical place on Earth, it's fun enough even with its price of $30. There were some controversies concerning the price, as it was initially marketed to be a free game. And while we all want it to be free, a $30 price point actually doesn't seem too bad for what it offers. Are there more games out there that are cheaper and can provide the same experience and more? Well, yes. Stardew Valley, as of writing, is being sold for the low price of $15. And we would recommend that to most people who are looking for a game to relax to. But hey, they don't have Disney characters. We're giving Disney Dreamlight Valley a 7.4. What did you think of Disney Dreamlight Valley? Were you looking forward to playing this game as well? Tell us about it in the comments below. Subscribe if you want to see more video game related content. This has been GameMate. Hope to see you in the next one.